really helped me check this mindset. The things that I said about being strong, being diligent, being resilient, all those things. A very important thing is seek out one major thing, that a myth that I want to debunk is hello, welcome back to my channel El-levate. My name is Abatel and this is my YouTube channel. Recently I got a scholarship, a fully funded scholarship to study my master's in climate change and planetary health, the best public health university in UK and second best in the world. So I made a video about the welcome week at my university last week. That was my video last week, and I'll link it here for you. And this week I'm going to give you an overview, a general guideline as to how you can get this type of opportunities. And proceeding from that week, we will from the big chunk that we will discuss today, we're going to take smaller chunks and break those down so that when it comes to scholarships, the first and major thing, you need to be able to leverage online resources. You might know this person, that person, you might have friends or people that you generally are acquainted with, but one person can only tell you so much. But you can leverage channels like this. There are different other channels and also online pages, especially LinkedIn. I've made videos about LinkedIn, and then you can go online and get resources from those from different users on that platform. You need to also be very strong, because it will seem like you're not making progress for the longest time, but then when you actually become successful, that's when you realize that all your effort has paid off. So for the longest time, it's going to feel like you're not making any progress and nothing's happening, and it's going to really test your resilience and your patience. So just make sure that you have your mindset in check and that you keep pushing until the last moment that you actually get your goal. And also I want to say that I believe this is just general. It's not just to scholarships. When you apply for international jobs or any other opportunities, you need to have the same mindset. And this is just a general outline that you need to follow. So these are the first things that the tips that I want to give you beforehand, before I get into the specifics of what you need to do. And one thing I want to add also here is that for me, when I look back like 2 years from now or something, before I had even decided that I would apply for scholarships, online sessions and online resources are what helped me, not just LinkedIn. It was also live sessions that were happening on TikTok, because there are people in local time, like past midnight, that would stay past midnight answering people questions, and make sure you use that. I don't need to specify specific users or anything, because I'm not promoting anybody here, and yeah, there's no reason why I would do that. But there are just a lot of people that are out there, like some of them have even grown to institutionalize themselves and have sort of become like an educational consultancy type of thing. So you need to find these people, okay? When you especially what I like about TikTok is if you go and start consuming educational scholarship content, you'll keep getting that. And you can also look for that in your local context, because when it's your local context, they'll give you tips that is tailored for your local context. There were different online people that were being online, like giving live sessions. I never went online and explained like, this is me, this is what I do, but I listened when other people talked about the things. So I was they were also motivating me a lot, so that really helped me check this mindset, the things that I said about being strong, being diligent, being resilient, all those things. So yeah, that was very helpful for me, so I'm sure it will be for you as well. And one major thing, that a myth that I want to debunk is scholarships are not only for people who have excelled academically. Scholarships are just generally for people who have demonstrated exceptional achievements and talent in certain areas. It's not just academic. So it can be in community engagement. There are also scholarships that are faith-based. So you need to, I'm just giving you this example of the wide spectrum of things that are available. Not everything is available for all countries. everything is unique. But yeah, you don't have to feel discouraged if you're not particularly academically very excellent, or you didn't graduate with distinction or something. Of course, if your points are a little bit to the lower side, it's alarming. Maybe you need to engage more in your community and build your leadership experience. That's also true for people who are academically excellent. But yes, you need to have a balanced approach and supplement your weakness with being very exceptionally strong in something, and then you can balance it out. So yeah, that's one major tip that needs to be debunked, because that's, I think, the traditional belief. And yeah, so of course there are scholarships that are purely academic, merit focused, and there are also scholarships that are leadership focused. Quickly go through the steps. So the first one is to gather your documents. This includes your degree from your university. And if there are things that you need to settle, payments you need to make, get to the bottom of this and make that. That was the first thing I started doing. So that, in my case, it took me a long time because there were different situations which I will not get into right now. But yeah, I had to, it took me a while. So this was something that took a longer time, but while I was doing this, I was able to do the other things, which I will keep describing after this. So document is not only your educational document, but it also includes your passport. So depending on where you are, for example, in Ethiopia, like a year or two ago, it used to take really longer times to get your passport. So you need to, if you're in a particular situation where it might take longer for you to acquire your passport, or you don't have a passport, make sure you have your passport. The second most important thing that you need to have is you need to have a good essay, all your achievements. You need to make sure that you have a really good CV. So I'll make a separate video for CV and also for essay. So a CV and essay, I put them together because it's very important that you have these two documents ready, because in your essay, it doesn't have to be, you don't use one essay for all applications. You use different essay for all applications, but you need to have a sort of idea as what your story could look like. A very important thing is seek out allies and mentors. You need recommenders. So your recommenders can be your mentors, these can be your allies. And when you engage in different activities, make sure you are a person to be recommended and a person to be trusted. So make sure that whatever you participate in, make sure that you are building relationships along the way that can help you in your applications. And you'll need these relationships, and always, it doesn't have to be in person only. You can know these people online and seek out programs and opportunities, not just in person, but also in places where you work. Try as much as possible to be in good terms with whoever is your superior, whoever is your boss, and try to make them your allies so that you can go to them when you need recommendations, when you need any type of support. So yes, so that's a major thing. And everything that you do, make sure it's try to have it online. I've made a video on LinkedIn, you can go watch that. I have made a video on volunteerism, you can go watch that and document everything. Make sure as much as possible, put everything in your essay. Every award that you won, anything that you have secured, any opportunity, make sure it's in your essay. This is very, very important. So engage or volunteer. This is sort of very much connected with your CV and essay. Document everything, include it in your essay as much as in your CV as much as possible. A CV that really shows the depth of experience, and it can really make people say, yeah, this person deserves to get this opportunity. And also, I'll link a video here for you that I made on volunteerism. You could watch that, and especially for those of you who are in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, this can be especially useful because I've linked groups. I've mentioned organizations and names where you could work with, volunteer, and build your experience. So be focused on the future, have a future-oriented mindset, and focus on your goal. Focus on things that will help you achieve that. I'm saying this because things will get hard before they get better, and you need to be really, really committed. Yeah, yes, I've made videos on, for the rest of you who are not in also Addis, and those of you also who are NADIS, you need to dig and find information, okay? Opportunities, you need to find them. You need to go to events, you need to meet people, you need to search online, and then find opportunities that will make you shine in your CV and your essay so that you can secure these opportunities, because these opportunities are not for everyone. They're not designed to be for everyone, okay? They're very, very competitive. So you need to make sure that you are excelling and performing above conventional standards. So you are worthy of getting these opportunities. They're globally competitive, continentally competitive. So when it comes to scholarships, yeah, you need to be very strong, and also apply for like other opportunities like fellowships, mentorships, all of this. So I think this falls under documenting your experience and volunteering extensively. And yes, and you obviously have to include this in your CV and your essay as well. And also another tip, I think this is the fifth one, is to research and apply. Because why I said research and apply is because you cannot apply to just one or two scholarships. You need to apply to a lot, but at the same time, you cannot apply to all of them. There is a limit to what you can do. So have a sort of criteria where you shortlist. So when it comes to shortlisting these scholarships, one thing is you can shortlist it based on just general preference of geographic location. You might prefer, for me, I preferred English speaking countries. You can prefer maybe Asia. You can just, there are different scholarships, so you can just shortlist them based on your preference, and then you can apply. And one major thing outside English-speaking countries, what I was looking at was, I knew that I wanted to do something in climate change and health, which is something I did extensive reflection on before deciding. So make sure you have that time with yourself and decide like what programs you want to do. It doesn't have to be as specific as climate change and health, but I applied to other programs that were like environmental and occupational health, planetary health, and some with other names as well. But one thing that I can assure you is all of them have they're all in a similar discipline, and I knew I wanted to do the public health path. So from this, it was easier for me to one thing I want to mention here is, if I could go back and make some things, correct some things, one thing I would do is apply to places that weren't so prestigious as well, because Italy is also giving out lots of scholarships, government scholarships like the Korea scholarships, and there are different scholarships as well. I could have applied to those, but I didn't. I applied to like prestigious scholarships, and yeah, to countries like Australia, UK, and some to the US as well. And I just picked very few scholarships and in very focused areas, but it's very important to also diversify and make it those at high prestigious, those at mid, and don't go too low, but like, yeah, there's no low in scholarships, but prestigious and just mid areas, because that will help you. You will definitely land something, and it will make you successful at the end of the day. Because I also have friends that did that. Because anyways, I'll not get into much depth, but I want to say that make sure you apply to a wide range of scholarships that have different competitions, like one that a lot of people are getting, one that is very competitive, and then you'll see what will happen. So yeah, because you don't want to wait like 2-3 years until you get like when you research and shortlist your universities, make it based on the field that you want to do, and then based on just general interest that you might have. And one thing is, your allies and your mentors will help you in that. And yes, because I cannot give you a specific advice, a specific thing, because I don't know your specific situation. But for the live sessions that I mentioned earlier, and for the mentors and allies that you have, you can consult them. So I'll stop here about the documenting and researching the scholarships that you're going to apply. And then last is you apply, and then you wait until you get the scholarships. But throughout this, there are things you need to do. So as I said, you need to decide an area, you need to decide that area, and you need to build your experience and your CV, which I mentioned, to volunteering experiences, to formal job experiences, to research experiences based on the thing that you want to do. So yes, you need to build this as you do all of this that I have been mentioning from the beginning. And the very important thing is your story that you tell in your essay. And the most important thing I shall say is your essay. In your essay, you talk about your story. Your story is what is very important. You need to tell it in a way that makes you worthy of getting a scholarship. So there are things that you need to do in your essay. We'll also talk about that can persuade people to give you that scholarship. And last but not least, you need to save some money, because you'll need this money to pay for exams. There are different expenses based on the scholarship that you get. You might end up spending some money. Keep working in your career as well. Participate in many projects, in many things. Most of it might be volunteering, but also look for ways that you can get some cash. So it can go towards your scholarship. Like different expenses that you have. Even if you are going to be a fully funded scholarship, sometimes for your exams, there are scholarships that can fund the tests that you take, but that doesn't happen all the time. So make sure you have that in check. I've mentioned a lot of the tips, I think, but overall, I hope this was helpful. I will do online sessions, like live sessions, either here or on TikTok. I haven't decided yet, but I'll start going online. I'll put my new TikTok account on the screen for you here, and I hope that this was very much helpful. And last thing I want to say, in the next week's video, I'm going to focus it on IELTS exam, which is something I also performed on very well. I took it twice. There was a reason for taking it twice. I'll tell you about it in my next video. So until we talk next week, bye.